Joining us now is Imad Kiai, the Executive Director at the American Iranian Council. So let's talk about this. This is the fifth year of the war. Thank you for coming. The fifth year of the war. Millions of people are displaced. Hundreds of thousands have been killed. Now, with the talks that have just wrapped up in Vienna, Iran has been brought to the table. Why so long for that particular development?
I think it's reached a point where the parties involved in this war, both regional countries, international powers such as the United States and Russia, have come to the conclusion that without the involvement of Iran as a major backer of the Syrian government, there cannot be a political solution. Unfortunately, as you've said, it's taken 5 years for them to come to this conclusion. There has been previous attempts to have Iran be part of these negotiations, but unfortunately at every juncture there's been some opposition from Saudi Arabia, Israel and of course Washington itself.
So what leverage does Iran have?
A great deal. I mean, if you look at the landscape and who is supporting the President Assad's government, it is Iran and Russia. Iran provides the underground advisory to the Syrian military. It's got a historical link with Syria that goes into economy, society, even religious sort of connections between two countries. So yes, it does have a major influence on the direction of what the Syrian government can do and may commit to and compromise in these negotiations.
Okay, but Saudi Arabia has said Assad has to go. It doesn't seem that that's the position of Russia or Iran. So what really is the resolution here?
Again, I think that in due time we will see that there will be some flexibility from all parties in these negotiations. What the Iranians are arguing is that you cannot come with a precondition of not having Assad involved in a negotiation.
So they're saying that's a non-starter?
Yeah, they're just saying there should be no precondition. There's already so much that has happened, so much devastation, as you have mentioned early on, that if we want to reach a political solution, how can you avoid having Assad at the table? He needs to also be sort of pushed to make some compromises, and without him, what is the alternative? Unfortunately, the opposition has not brought into the forefront another sort of, let's say, a replacement for Assad. And if you see the expansion of ISIL or Daesh in Iraq and Syria, the current common ground from all the regional and international parties involved in these talks is how do we reduce the power and the expansion of this terrorist organization.
So let's talk about that, because everyone's focus seems to be shifting to ISIL. Is that split focus a problem now?
Not necessarily. I think that it's part and parcel of the whole quagmire that we're in Syria. You cannot have a political solution to this problem, into this war, without addressing and weakening ISIL and Daesh, to bring again those moderate forces that America keeps talking about. And,
yes, these mysterious moderate forces.
Which, unfortunately, it's so ironic that it takes this long. Iran has a track record with the Americans to bring about a resolution to major regional conflicts, such as the Bonn conference that resulted in the government in Kabul. Iran played a fundamentally important role in achieving a transitional government in Afghanistan following the invasion of the United States after 9/11, and also having not just its own interested groups in that government, but also reflection of the society. Again, Iran does not say that, the other groups that are fighting for the independence in Syria should not have a seat or a say in a future government of Syria. It's just saying that at the end of the day, the Syrian people, through an election, they should decide who rules them. We should not give them that sort of like who should and who shouldn't.
So if it took 5 years to get all of these players to the table, how much longer can this possibly go on? How many more lives?
Unfortunately, this is a complex situation. There are many regional proxies that are playing part in this Syrian conflict. When we look at how Daesh expanded, this monster that it is today, it was the birth child of those same groups and countries that said they want to support a moderate opposition to Assad. These weapons are coming from the West. The money is coming from Persian Gulf Arab countries, including Saudi Arabia. And the training and other enforcements and human resources are coming from the Sunni Islamic world and from Western Europe.
And now Russia's involved.
And
as
Russia,
well.
of course, from the Caucasus. We're talking about the Chechen fighters that are actually in the Syrian conflict as well. So it is a very complex puzzle that we have to really address. Hopefully, this is a beginning of a relatively long road to achieving a political track, while there is still a military, activities going on to, bring an end to Daesh.
Let's hope so. Ahmad Kiai, thank you so much for coming in. I'm
Been a
sure we'll be
pleasure.
calling on you again. Thank you.